Well, hey, we're here today with Dennis, who's also with the Missouri Association for Creation, if you notice the shirt. And he's going to tell us a little bit about the chimpanzees. If we're lucky, maybe we'll have a few pop out behind us. In the meantime, give us a little information about them.
Well, yeah, I'm going to tell you basically about the chimpanzees. They're part of the ape family. All right. You've got the gorillas, you got the gibbons, you got the...
So what's the difference between a monkey and an ape?
What's the difference?
Yep.
Is the tail.
The tail.
The tail. The monkeys have tails, chimpanzees do not.
Okay, so apes do not have tails. Right. All those that are classified as monkeys have tails.
Right, exactly.
Just like the VeggieTales song. I love it.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. My kids, that's how I learned about this.
Yep.
Science from VeggieTales.
So that helps. And the thing is, the biggest of them is the gorilla. The gorilla is the largest of them. They've got the orangutans, the gibbons, the bonobos. They're all part of the same family.
Okay.
And like you said, they're different from the monkey because of the tail. They like to live in trees. Why would you think they like to live in trees?
That is a great question, because they've got hands and feet.
Right.
We don't live in trees, really.
Nope.
Why do they live in trees?
Because they protect, because of predators to come after them.
Predators, so this gets them up away from the predators below.
Yes.
A lot less predators up high.
Exactly.
Okay.
They still have the leopards and stuff like that could come after them, but they move their nest almost every day.
Really? So they're constantly moving their house.
Right.
So when we see cartoons and all where it looks like they have the same place, that's not the case.
No, because they know that their smell will be there, and then all of a sudden the people, the other animals, will pick up their smell, and they'll be there waiting for them.
So they're constantly moving.
They're constantly moving.
Okay.
And you've noticed with the chimpanzee, they're not the same as a human. All right. There's a total difference in the two. We're going to be talking about that too, because a lot of talk in the world now is that evolution is true.
Okay.
We're going to go and talk about that, about the difference of the two.
Okay.
I mean,
yeah. You can obviously see there's some differences. We don't have hair all over our body like they do, right?
Right.
Some facial differences I automatically see. I mean, they've got a much sharper jaw point than we would ever have. And yeah, bigger ears. I mean, you look at the size of the ears compared to us. Yeah, definitely.
They got a lot of hair. Yeah,
a lot of hair.
They got a lot of hair. And the thing is, they like to walk on all four. We walk on two. Okay. And then what they do is they travel around the jungle. Basically, there's the jungle there, and they love fruit. And they love fruit, and they eat fruit all day long. The thing is, there's 3,000 different types of fruit in the jungle. I mean,
so you're telling me they have 3,000 varieties of fruit that they can go and grab and choose from?
Right.
Okay. So that also makes sense as to why they might move, because unlike us who can go to a grocery store and conveniently get a banana every day, these things probably cycle. And so throughout the year, they're able to move from various fruits as they're moving along. They probably have some kind of way to know this pattern that these fruits are going to be available in that area with those trees.
Exactly.
Okay.
So they keep moving around. And the thing of it is, a mother chimpanzee only has one baby like every 5 years. All right. Now, if the mother dies, another one in the group will take care of that baby to have that baby grow up. But so they have one every 5 years.
Every 5 years.
Right.
So very unlike us, who we can have several in a row or multiple. Not the case with them. How many would they have in their lifetime?
Probably about 3 or 4, and that's not many more than that. Not
3 or 4 is the most. So that's a very interesting thing. Okay.
And you can see here, basically, the chimpanzees. Basically, they love to walk on all fours. They're called knuckle walkers.
Okay.
Right? And they've got very powerful wrists because of that. All right. And
I'd imagine so if you're walking on your knuckles all day long.
And if you notice their feet are the same as their hands. They have opposing thumbs on both of them. So basically, Jesus Christ created them to climb in trees and to grab. All right. So now that their feet can grab, just like their hands can grab onto something that can go around it. If they have feet like us, for the toes in front, you can't grab. Okay. So there's the difference.
Okay. Very interesting.
They like being in groups. They like groups. And they like being grouped from 5 to 50. They could be as large as 50 in one group. Okay. They do have one alpha male and they do have one alpha female. Okay.
Okay.
So they want to make sure that there's always a boss.
All right.
No matter what. So it's interesting for them. Another part of it is they can use tools. All right. Now, because they use tools, You know, they use sticks to get inside of termites or ant places, and basically, but a lot of animals can do that.
Okay.
You know? Yeah, I keep hearing a lot that chimpanzees are 99% the same as humans, okay, in the DNA, which is not true.
They're not 99%.
No, no.
Okay.
They just basically, the difference is that with them, they have found now that the difference is probably about 15 to 20% difference in us than them. All right, so
that's a lot more than 99. That's
Yeah.
more like 75 to 80%.
Exactly.
Okay.
Right.
Which is a big deal. I mean, just a few percentage changes a male from a female, right? By the chromosome. So
right, right. And one of the things, I mean, like there was a list of things that they basically have. They have more chromosomes than us. They have an extra pair of chromosomes that we don't have.
They have an extra pair of chromosomes.
Right.
Wow. Okay. So definitely unique. Definitely different than us.
But
I've never heard of an animal making or deleting chromosomes. Have you?
Exactly.
On their own?
Exactly.
I mean,
so
that's
but the
interesting.
thing is, they're stronger than us. Now, wouldn't you think in evolution that since we evolved from them, we would be stronger? Why are they stronger than us?
That's a great question.
They're stronger than us because of, they call it fast twitch fibers and slow twitch fibers.
So fast twitch fibers and slow twitch fibers make them faster than us.
Right.
Okay.
The reason what we have is that we have gray matter in us, and that's basically the nerves in our body. We have the nerves in our body that go throughout our whole body.
So our nervous system is called gray matter.
Right.
Okay.
And then with that gray matter, basically it helps us to be able to move our hands and different things like that. Now, fast twitch fibers gives you a whole lot more power quickly. Like on their muscles, like their arm muscle, they might have like 100,000 fibers in there, or whatever it is, how many it is. And all of a sudden they might have one nerve that's going through every one of them. So all of a sudden they want to pull that, use that strength, they got it all at one time. Okay?
Gotcha.
So they can
So
do
those
that.
nerves activate a lot quicker and create a bigger thrust.
Right.
Okay.
But what that you have to give up then is you have to give up the other part where you can't play pianos, you can't
Fine tuning stuff.
you can't do anything like that because they don't have enough slow twitch fibers. What we have is we have so much more gray matter that we can in turn then we have so many more nerves that a whole lot of different nerves are going into the arm and into the hand, and we can use all the different parts and everything very easily, and then that's the reason why we have so much more slow twitch fibers.
Gotcha.
So that's very important. That's the big difference between the two of us. But
Yeah, those fibers allow them to grab really quick and have quick and fast and powerful motion.
Right.
But the difference of us is our gray matter, since we've got a different set of fibers, they're not fast twitch fibers. They allow us to do the fine tuning stuff of playing a piano and play a guitar, the fine art, something that they probably would not do. Probably even paint a very detailed picture. I'm sure they could probably paint something, but it wouldn't be as detailed as we can get because of the fine-tuned muscles. Interesting.
yeah. So another thing about them is that the cultural structure on them. Their cultural structure is that they can only learn by what they watch.
Okay.
Okay, it's not like us where we can.
So they're visual learners,
Exactly.
not audio learners.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Their communication is not like our communication because they are not set up to talk.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So they're not verbal. They're not set up for verbal communication because of the. Well, it makes sense if they're learning by watching. They shouldn't need to really do a lot of verbal stuff, right? They're just paying attention to dad, watching what dad and mom does. I do the same thing.
Correct.
Okay. Learn the same patterns of movement throughout a forest to get to the same fruits and vegetables. It makes sense. All right.
So, and another thing, what is the most important thing about them is about being in the deep jungle.
Okay.
Is one of their biggest powers that they have. The most important thing is, remember, they have the fast twitch muscle. They can climb in the trees. Jesus Christ made sure they can get up on all the trees. Okay. So once they get up there, they're eating the fruit. So their power is the power of poop.
Gotcha. So they poop a lot.
They can poop fruit seeds all over the jungle, and they're always moving around from the place.
So they're replanting seeds everywhere.
Right.
Because they're up high, they're dropping their poop down.
Yeah. Oh, no, but basically they're on the ground. They're on the ground, finding where everything all the time.
And now they're giving ants food.
Yes.
And the seeds go down and
Yeah.
That's interesting that that God created in such a way that they would be able to go to all these different various places up in the trees, and then that something we would laugh at and take advantage of is actually very, very productive from a force point of view, from helping out other animals. That is just amazing.
Yes. So that is what's so important about chimpanzees, and all of the different parts of the ape family are the same way. Okay, so they've got this power. So that's what why Jesus Christ created that monkey to be like that, the chimpanzees to be like that live in the trees, move around, and be able to live like a family. And yes, they're unique in their own ways, and they should show them as being unique. They're not anything to do with us. Okay,
Sounds like it.
basically, well, if you look at them, and I'll show you that. Show you here.
So we got some skeletal structure stuff
Skeletal
there.
structure. You want to see that there. Basically, that's the human, and that's the chimpanzee. Now, if you can see right now that they are nothing alike.
Uh-huh.
Okay, this animal was made for walking on all fours.
Skeletal structure, help me out here. What makes us different from the chimp?
Well, we can go throughout the whole anatomy. I mean, they have more bones up in their skulls. They have 28 bones, and we have 22 bones.
So we got more bones.
I mean, no, they have more bones in their skull than
They have more bones in their skull than we do.
right.
Okay.
If you see their chest, how it's in barrel shaped below them,
Yeah, ours is not like that.
it's not like that. We have a spine that's S-shaped, the back of the spine. So all of a sudden, so we can stand upright. We have a spine that's curved, and it goes right up into the middle part of our skull and right into their hip. And that's why we can stand up. We were made to walk. Okay, they were made to walk on all four.
Gotcha.
Their arm,
From that spine is different than how ours is.
right, and now the
Okay.
arm is 1.5 times the size of their body.
Well, and you just look right there, their bone structure right there are
Yes.
much thicker. And of course that would make sense because you're putting a lot more pressure down on your knuckles and on your body. So you would need bigger bones there.
And I
So-
also told you about the slow twitch fibers. On a slow twitch fiber, we can touch each one of our fingers at different times and stuff like that. Their thumb is much shorter than ours, and their fingers are much longer. So,
Gotcha.
and why is
Which makes sense from hanging, right?
exactly? Jesus Christ made sure that they hung from the trees. That's why He created them.
Gotcha.
Their feet are different. Our toes are right in front of us.
Okay.
Their toes go to the side. Remember, they're like our hands. They'll
All right.
be the same. So then why do we need to toe in the front? We need to toe in the front so we can push off.
Push off.
We can aim forward. We have Achilles heel that can give us bounce so we can run and stuff basically and keep running for long distances. We don't have hair on our body because if the hair makes us not perspire as much, and we perspire a lot. You know, I perspire now. So basically there's a whole lot of difference there.
Gotcha.
And there's every other part, the hips. Our hips are short,
Okay.
right there, and theirs is long. So they can't do what we do when we turn.
Gotcha.
And that's the total difference in the body structure, total difference in the DNA, a total difference in the gray matter. So the brain size, they have like 400 centimeters of brain size. We have 1,400.
Wow.
We have over 3 times the amount of brain that they have. But you have to really realize that chimpanzees were created by Jesus Christ to be in the trees, to do what they're supposed to do for everything out there in the wild. Okay? And they are not made in the image of Jesus.
Right.
Okay, God. So that's the difference. There's a lot of difference. Just realize that.
Yeah. That's awesome. Thank you
Thank you.
very much. That was awesome. So really appreciate that.
You're safe.